All right, cricket lovers, we are finally back here. Been a while since we've had the cricket video, obviously, since the Aussie summer, and we are back into it. We are halfway through this T20 World Cup, so I want to get in and talk a little bit about that. I'm going to also, not this video, but focus in other videos around the Test Season 3 that is out right now. I'm into watching that as well, and I'll have a nice review of certain episodes and certain behind-the-scenes things. If you aren't able to watch it or decide not to watch it and just want a little bit of a summary, then come in and join that. But there's been a lot happening across this World Cup so far. A little bit of drama, as always, between Australia and also England, and some countries coming out and playing really, really good cricket. So firstly, just want to go through the group, the group stages right now and the tables, the ladders of each group there. There's 4 of them, A, B, C, and D. We're going to go through a lot of the top stats and also some of the matches, especially from an Australian standpoint. So let's go through Group A to start off with. And India have won their 3 matches. Actually had a really close matchup against USA just yesterday there. And it was, they got it with 9 balls to spare, and Virat Kohli got a golden duck. So actually the first time really since the start of his career that Virat Kohli has been under 50 as a T20 average, and he's actually opening the batting as well. So a little bit different there for him than what we're used to. But 49.98 was what the average got down to. So that was a little bit frustrating for him. Obviously, that'd be really cool to have that long term, but I don't think that that really matters too much. I'm sure he'll get it back. There'll be an innings or two in the next few games of this World Cup where he'll have a good night out or get a good score, that's for sure. But the surprise packet of this tournament has been USA, obviously being played at home. There's a lot of expats over there, players that have moved from other countries to go play in the USA, and it's obviously growing a little bit because they've won 2 out of 3 matches, and we got really close to India. So by far they're improving, compared to other nations. They're in a pretty tough group as well. You got India, Pakistan in there as well, and Ireland can have decent games on their day as well. Unfortunately, I've gone over and played in Ireland for a couple of years there, and know a lot of the guys that actually play in the Irish team, and sad to see that they are none from 2 at the moment, but they still have obviously more games to come tomorrow and the like. But yeah, it's a really fun little group, this one, with India and USA currently in the lead, and let's see if the USA can keep that spot in the top 2 to advance to the next stage. And India have already advanced, similar to that with Australia. They will be in the same group there. And then the second group stage, we have South Africa and also West Indies. So we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, really, really fun group. Group A. Group B, so we've got obviously England and ours with Scotland, Namibia, and also Oman. So Oman obviously, are struggling a little bit. Been some very quick games, I should say, between Australia and Oman, England and Oman as well. But England had a no result game, which was unfortunate. Obviously with Scotland, they didn't get to play each other in that one, and England finally got their first win there after losing their other game there. So Australia straight through. They've won their 3, got another one to go, and that'll round it out. But they're obviously already through, no matter what happens with England. The big question now is England against Scotland trying to get through. So Australia's played Scotland. There's a little bit of chatter around about, obviously, because they're through, they don't need to win this matchup per se, so they might actually get a Fraser McGurk or something like that to come in and play, which he should be able to go just as well as some of the other guys on his day, especially as well. And if Scotland were to win that one, then obviously England have no chance of making it through to the next stage, being the defending champions of the T20 World Cup. So big news on that front. They've obviously had that 1 loss and the no result, which has hurt them. They get the 1 point each for the no result, which you see why Scotland are on 5 rather than 4, and England are on 3 rather than 2, because you get 2 for a win. So yeah, that's the big news there. And obviously Namibia got a win there against Oman there as well. So yeah, Group B, super fun. Obviously good for the Aussies. They're playing really, really well, and we'll spend a bit more time on them across the video. For the C group, we have the West Indies are 3 from 3. Really good situation from them on this one. They've got Afghanistan and New Zealand, who are the other 2 good or decent teams, you'd say, in this one. And New Zealand have lost 2 in a row, so super bad news for them. They are basically gone from this tournament. They'd have to Afghanistan have to lose 2 of their matches. Uganda, sorry. I say Uruguay. Would have to win their last matchup They actually only have the one there, which is annoying. So they're out as well. It's only New Zealand there that can come in with 2 wins and a really ridiculous net run rate, and Afghanistan to lose their next 2 for them to be any chance of making the second round, which is crazy as well to have New Zealand most likely and also potentially England out of the first group stage of the World Cup. So yeah, congratulations to Afghanistan for their 2 great wins so far. The net run rate of plus 5.22 has been awesome there, and that West Indies showing their T20 caliber type of play, that's for sure. And then Group D, we have South Africa doing good things. They've got Bangladesh, Netherlands, Nepal, and obviously Sri Lanka as well. So Sri Lanka really disappointing for what we know of them to be over the past 20, 30 years. God, it's just been a massive fall from grace, hasn't it, for Sri Lanka? Like, growing up for me, when I was sort of 10, 12, it was watching Jaisaria and all these boys there go out and be absolutely incredible and dominant. Sangakkara, all these types of players there, just watching them be so good at their craft, and they just don't have that anymore, unfortunately. That type of caliber of player, like some of the best in the to ever play the game. So these guys that I'm speaking about there. But yeah, in this one, obviously South Africa, and then a good chance it's going to be Bangladesh. They just need to get, obviously, if they win their last one or don't lose by a crazy amount, the net run rate for them and the Netherlands is very, very close. So Netherlands could get a win here to go over the top of them if they manage to get through. So that's where we're at the moment. Obviously, a team from each group is 3 from 3 and they're straight through. And there might be some restings and things like that across the next few games. But considering there's 3 or 2, 3, and 4 matches being played, just want to give a shout out to some of the players at the moment. We got Gurbaz from Afghanistan, who's got 2 hits and 156 runs, which is absolutely incredible. And you see the highest scores there. He's got an 80 and a 76 with really good strike rates in both of those. So congrats to him and his start to the World Cup there on that one. Aaron Jones is next on 141. So he has that one massive score in 94 and then got out in his other couple of matchups there once to end up with 141 average, which always looks great. But 141 across 3 games for Aaron. He's doing really, really well there as well. And then we do have to shout out Dave Warner because he has done really well in his 3 matches. He's done everything he's kind of needed to do to get the win for the Australians with a 38 average, getting out in each of them at the top of the order, but getting the Australians off to a really good start, which has been awesome there for 115 runs and just continues to do it in limited over cricket, especially 50 overs and the 20 overs. Even though he has retired from the longer form, he's still doing really, really well. Obviously in the ODI World Cup and then into this T20 World Cup as well. He's been awesome. Then you got Zadran as well from Afghanistan doing really good in those 2 matches. So those 2 really carrying the batting for Afghanistan. If they can keep that up, they could go deep into this tournament if they keep their form. And then Andreas Gus as well from the USA as well, doing good things in their 3 matches that he's played so far. So really impressive efforts for both Afghani players to be up in that realm. And then for Faruqi, we've got a lot of wicket takers that we really know. Basically all of them there. For anyone who follows cricket at like somewhat of a decent level, you see all these names and you know all of them. So that shows that if you're bowling well and doing good things, the best bowlers are getting the results there. And you see, Faruqi there, Zampa's up there. Like Faruqi with the 3.5 economy is absolutely incredible. Same with Haseen from West Indies at 3.7. That's just unheard of. Even for the boys here, Adam Zampa, Alzari Joseph, and I didn't even mention Nortchke there with the 3.58 economy. He is just getting better and better as a bowler there. And for Faruqi to have 2 matches and get 9 wickets is incredible. But Zamps with his 4 for 12 the other day was massive. And then Joseph's bowling really, really well. For West Indies, you've got Arshdeep Singh doing great things at the top there for India, along with Hardik Pandya, which a lot of the time you do see him as more of the batsman, but we know that he can bowl a lot and hasn't really got too much luck against the Australians so far in sort of the longer form stuff, but doing great work here at the T20 World Cup. And then Hussain there with a 7.25 economy, but 7 wickets in his 3 games there. So as the wicket takers doing good things on that front. And then, you could look at the best bowling figures. Zampa's 4 for 12, doesn't even make the cut. We had Adil Rashid get 4 for as well, but no other big run scorers in that. Big one actually here is how well that Marcus Stoinis has been playing as well, but we'll go through the games for the Australians there, just so we can get a little bit more of an idea, if you haven't been following along, how the Aussies are going. And it's been massive, to be fair, with how Marcus Stoinis has been playing, because he ended up with 67 not out in that first game For the Aussies batting at 5, you had Maxwell get a golden, unfortunately. Marsh really slow there at 14 off 21. So, yeah, off to a slow start. Warner 56 off 51. But it was Stoinis that came in and really took this game away from Oman in that one, who, have really shown this was one of their best games of the tournament so far for them. And if Stoinis didn't go off, it might have been a little bit of a, 120 odd, 130, and might have been a bit of a tough one for the Aussies to defend. But 164 ended up being too many. And yeah, Stoinis just not showing much in the Australian domestic stuff, but looked really good in IPL. And he was talking about how important Justin Langer actually was, his IPL coach, in his building his confidence, his development over in the IPL. So this is transitioned massively over into this T20 World Cup, and Stoinis is actually bowling a lot of overs and doing really well also. So you see here they used 6 bowlers in this one when they went Stark, Hazelwood, Ellis, and then Stoinis with the fast bowling, and then Maxwell and Zampa. But there's been a lot of games which we'll see where they've actually just gone with the 5 bowlers. But Stoinis here, 3 overs, 3 for 19 after getting 67. A beautiful man of the match performance there. Ellis has been doing good things in games that he's played. Stark taking 2 wickets. Hazelwood, economy rate, incredible as always. Maxwell did his job. And then Zampa, 4 overs, 2 for 24. Another terrific match from him in that one there. So let's move down that list of games that we've got. Just expand that back out so we can head back to the games, the next one on the list there. So for the Australians, then we played England and picked up 201. So it was an absolutely massive performance from the Aussies there, with Travis Head getting 34 off 18, along with Warner's 243.75 strike rate, 39 off 16 there. Marsh was much better in this one, picking up 140 strike rate for 35 runs. Maxwell a little bit slower, kind of working his way into the tournament, and that probably spells good things. If Maxwell hasn't come out and dominated, that we're still able to get good wins against good nations as well. And then Stoinis 30 off 17, so back-to-back incredible performances. Was really, really good. And then David, both those innings has gone well into the 130 plus strike rate across those 2 games, which has been good. And then Matty Wade got his opportunity, 17 off 10, not out. So everyone in that game performing really, really well. Something to note as well, guys, is the different pitches that are going on with scores at the moment. So you'll see one of the Afghani games there at the start. They got a lot of runs. Obviously, one of the boys got an 80 and then a 76 in both games. There was the USA game, the first one, which was 190, played 170 odd. And then you're getting a lot of the games in New York where the pitch, I've seen the highest score is like almost 120 out of like the 7 games played. So it depends on where you play as to what type of run chase you can go for, or you can, what type of total you can set. And this was obviously a better one, 201, all 7 down for 201. With none of the bowlers really standing out apart from Jofra Archer, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, we know how amazing he is as a bowler, and Mark Wood went the journey there, 3 overs, none for 32, with Warner taking him for a few 3 sixes, I believe, in one of the overs. So that was that, and they were able to get through Adil Rashid really well at just over 10 and over in that one. And then on the bowling side for our boys, we went Zampa as well, 2 for 28 off his 4, just being incredible. Pat Cummins was the real standout here, along with Hazelwood, 1 for 28. Stoinis got a wicket, and Maxwell went for 11 and over. Not his best, but absolutely did the job in this one. The Aussies did, and Mitch Stark, 3 overs for none for 37, wasn't needed exactly. And the big thing here was the opening partnership, the opening stand that the England boys put on in Phil Salt and Joss Butler, 37 and 42, both going at 150 plus in their strike rates. And it took a lovely over from Zampa. Like, he was able to bowl Phil Salt and he was able to get a nice wicket there, good catch off from Pat Cummins in that over, and that turned the momentum, and none of the other boys really got going. Moeen Ali 25 or 15 with 3 sixes, but it was Will Jackson, Johnny Besto where they were able to get the 2 wickets in the over and then put the clamps on for that there when they were trying to reconsolidate and get going before they both got out for 100 strike rate or less there, with Besto 7 off 13 really being the dagger in this one. Unfortunately for them, the other boys tried their best, but they couldn't get anything outside of Moeen Ali's 166 strike rate. Harry Brook was a bit slow at 125, and same with Liam Livingston at 125. When you do need to be striking him up 150, 160 strike rate plus, they weren't able to do that in this one there, unfortunately. So that was the big game against England, and is a big reason why England are struggling to go any further in this competition. And then our third game of the tournament there was 1 for 74 off 5.4 overs, chasing 72 for Namibia there. And obviously, a lot of our bowlers got plenty of overs, given there were 17 overs there. Hazelwood was great. They were all great. Stoinis was awesome. 3 overs, 2 for 9, like opening the bowling as well. And batting 5. He's an integral part to this Australian T20 setup. And obviously making selections based off how his current form was going in the IPL. And I think you could say that the IPL this year and how he went saved him a little bit from potentially missing out on certain teams. And I know they love him and they should. Like he's got so many runs on the board. He's taken wickets. He's done great things for Australia. And I completely understand him being selected in squads. But I think there was a little bit of pressure on him. Like he really struggles in Big Bash the last few years. And this was a season defining kind of couple of, bunch of games for him across the T20 in IPL. And then here in the World Cup. So he's absolutely earned this spot. Batting 5 and opening the bowling or bowling first change has been absolutely incredible. Cummins was solid there, 3 overs, 1 for 16. Zampas 4 for 12 here, and then Ellis 3 overs, 1 for 12. But yes, against Namibia, they did struggle a little bit, and then the boys came out and smacked them everywhere. Warner was 20 off 7 before his dismissal, so 20 off 8, which is just wild that he's going at like 300 or 3 a ball there. Travis Head 34 off 17 not out, like he's in obviously good form, and then Mitch Marsh, good to see him get 18 off 9. All the boys going at 200 plus on the strike rate, which is incredible. So yeah, I suppose that's the main stuff I wanted to focus on was where we're at the moment. We're obviously through the group stage. Just give you all an update on what's happening there. Obviously England got that win very quickly, 2 for 50 off 3.1 overs against Oman, and just shows that they put up a really good fight against the Aussies in that first game. And obviously Stoinis was the one, as I said, that's kind of saved the day. So very important matchup. USA play Ireland, so that'll confirm if they win that one, they'll confirm their spot in the secondary group stage. New Zealand have to win tomorrow and win well. South Africa, then Paul, that game is less important, obviously, with South Africa through. Australia plays Scotland, and that will be on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. So yeah, check that out there as well. India play, which is much better timing for us anyway, because the other games, India play Canada at 12:30 a.m. and then the Namibia-England game is at 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. So anyone who's having a late night will be able to check into those ones. But yeah, obviously the England game will be important. And yeah, India already through, so not as important for that one. Before the last few group stage games, there's still a little bit of time, for that before they get into the Super 8. So got all the way through until Tuesday. 10:30 is the last game, West Indies against Afghans, and then the Super 8 does start on Thursday next week. So if you want to come out, go and check out the Australian game. It does start at 10:30 on Friday, 21st of June, and we're not sure who we're going to play yet, but yeah, thankfully it's not against India, basically, is how that's playing out. We don't want to play them in that first match up there, and we can go from there on that one. It's obviously a couple of games across that Super 8 sort of section, and then Australia play India in the third game of that next section, and then they go into the semi-finals from there, where it's just the top 4. So whoever gets through, obviously it'll be 4 from the 8 that'll go through to the semi-finals, and it's a good way to do it. I think you get some opportunities to, if you're in a T20 comp, if you do happen to lose a game or a random game, it's not going to absolutely cook you, which is the same in the ODI format, the 50 over format there, where Australia really struggled across their first couple of games, and then we're able to turn it around. So at least here, you're able to lose one game and still make it through. So yeah, you got that next stage of the tournament. There's 55 games there, and then 55 games by the end of that stage, including the first group stage as well. And then you get into the semi-finals there, where 4 teams get through, and then the final on the 30th of June. So a really cool format, the way they're doing it. Super excited to see how the boys play, and I'm keen to see what happens with the Scotland game if Australia do decide to rest some of their players, and then what happens in that England game as well. So thanks for tuning in to the cricket side of the video, guys. Hopefully, if you are a newer audience member, if you don't watch my footy videos and you're just here for the cricket stuff, or you've been missing the cricket stuff, please let me know in the comments how much you've missed it, and we'll get these videos out a little bit more regularly now that we're getting into some clear Australian cricket stuff that we have that good break for over the first part of the season, which works perfectly coinciding with the footy season. And then we've got a massive summer of cricket to come, and obviously Big Bash and everything like that as well, which I'll be covering. So thanks for being here, guys, and we will catch you in that next cricket video soon.